from whenever point I choose, I will forever be leading it, just like right now. What's going on, Internet? It's your boy KJ back at it again with the homie Pat in the Hat.
What's up, guys?
And welcome to episode 3 of Digital Dive in, the proper gaming talk show. I think this is the most consistent uploads we've done in
a while.
Like 9 months.
No, a year.
In
It's
a year?
It's been a year.
Oh,
It's kind of wild.
Oh, daddy, that is a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we are so glad to be back and doing regular stuff. Also, guys, if you have Twitch or are already subscribed to our YouTube channel, I have been uploading regular Last of Us Part 2 Let's Plays, so be sure you check those out after this episode.
Please check them out. He is not good at the game, but it's a fun watch.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
exactly.
Resources, but it's still fun.
Yeah, guys. So like you said, if you guys want to check out the game but don't want to spend the $60 for it, please follow us on YouTube/Digital Dive In. Today we are talking about the Avengers War table that happened. I'm just going to open up the floor. Pat, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so when the game was first announced and everything, it looked really weak, and I was kind of like meh about it. I wasn't super hype. I was expecting more of a Spider-Man level game, and it looked not that originally. After this war table and after all the trailers that we saw, and sorry, move this closer, and some just insights from the editorial director from Crystal Dynamics, it looks a lot better than I anticipated. The graphics are still questionable in my opinion, but they're looking better and better with each trailer we get. So I'm interested. I'm certainly interested. I'm surprised that's coming out in September. I thought it was going to be a lot later. I know it's supposed to be in May.
What is September 4th, right?
Yeah, September 4th. It was pushed back from May 15th, I think. So, and I think that's a good. I think that was a good choice because that seemed a little bit too early.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. This was one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I'm not looking forward to it as much anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I have a question that is probably kind of disrespectful, but I'm going to just say it because I am a gaming journalist, and this is what I do. Isn't this just Anthem? It looks like Anthem, just with a Marvel skin over top of it.
No, I don't think so because it's not, open world, first of all. You don't get to really create your own character. You're playing through set characters that you get to just customize.
But isn't that exactly what the armors or the archers or where the fuck fudge caught myself and then get to lose my one. But that's the thing. Everyone's the same typical prototype. You're either a hunter or a ranger or whatever the third class is.
Kind of. I mean, this one's kind of you play, like each person you can play however you want to because each of them have similar ranged abilities, close-up abilities, all that stuff. Whereas Anthem was much more class-based. It's basically like Destiny.
But wouldn't you just call the characters new classes? Because at the end of the day, it's the same. Good.
I don't think I would call them classes because, they do all kind of have their strengths and weaknesses. They all basically do the same shit at the end of the day.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So when you're looking at the gameplay, you see Iron Man flying and doing his laser.
Yeah.
But then you see Thor flying and doing lightning. And you see Black Widow floating and shooting bullets. They're doing the same mechanic, just with a different skin and maybe different properties, but they're the same character. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So that's where my fear comes in. Is this just Anthem with the Marvel skin? Because I saw my floating numbers accounting for my damage, which is stupid.
Yeah, I think you can turn that off still.
Yeah, I hope. Knock on wood.
Most games allow you to turn that shit off.
But that's what That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why I'm so hesitant to now make it like my most anticipated. It's like, I have Anthem. It's not great.
It's horrible.
But I can play it whenever I want. Why do I want to spend $60? Now, I don't have a problem spending $60 on a narrative-based game, like you were saying, like Spider-Man or God of War or something like that. It doesn't have to be that scale, but at least trying to hit that kind of quality.
Yeah, that's fair. This one does look a little bit more narrative driven than Anthem was, and Anthem was literally just go out and do whatever the hell you want. This one, you actually have like a set mission. There is a solidified story. The villain is actually really interesting, and I think the one thing I really liked from this and from this game, from the live stream, I guess, is that all the move sets, the outfits, all the customizables, all the upgrades and everything, they're taken almost directly from the comic books. So that's kind of dope. I
That is
like
dope.
that a lot. I like that a lot. And I like that we have MODOK as a main villain because he's severely underrated.
Yeah,
And that's kind of cool. So,
I think it's got a chance to be cool. And don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna cop that thing when it comes out. I'll be in line September 3rd waiting. It's just I don't know. I'm worried. I don't.
yeah.
I personally play narrative based games. You know, I don't play a lot of. I guess games as a service, as you want to call it. I don't play Destiny. I play Apex, but that's different. It was free. I
Yeah.
didn't play. I got Anthem because it was $5. I don't really play these types of games, and that's my biggest concern. Like now, the cool thing they did announce was that they're going to be releasing free DLC.
Yeah. That was
So
really
exactly, so like that's super dope. Um, Along with just the different kind of perks and I guess additional stories they're going to be releasing also for free,
mm-hmm.
which kind of brings me back in because the game is a service in that way. Kind of, now I don't feel
Yeah,
like I'm
that,
getting
the
ripped
fact that's
off.
all that fact that it's all free and you don't have to pay extra money for it is really nice. And they also have like like an in-game marketplace where you can buy skins and upgrades and all that stuff. But I don't think it's microtransaction based. I think it's all in-game currency.
I think some of the skins will be microtransactions, but I
Maybe,
don't
or you
think
can just the upgrades. I
maybe
don't think.
I don't think it's going to be play to win or pay to win. Excuse me, but I think
No.
all of the cosmetics you might get a few things like shell out a few cents for this one, or else you can't have it.
I think what they're going to do is have like a lot of like DLC skins that you would have to pay for.
Right. That's a good guess.
Because the bulk of because that's what they do with Spider-Man too. Like the DLCs themselves came with specific skins, so that was kind of hot.
That's true.
But I think the bulk of the skins are going to be unlocked through the story and through certain missions because they said that like all the super iconic skins, so like the Thor, like the old school Thor with the helmet and everything, probably the Iron Man, maybe Avengers outfit. That's all unlocked through iconic hero missions within the game. So that's kind of hot.
Right. So the other thing they announced and they kind of went more in depth was the multiplayer. What do you think about the multiplayer?
The multiplayer intrigues me a lot, actually, because you basically have to choose between whatever character you want to play as and go with your friends and wreck shit. And that just sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like a multiplayer Ultimate Alliance, but less, more focused on your character than all of them.
Well, that was the weird thing when I was also watching. It's like it's basically prettier Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, that's what it is. One thing I do like is that when you're doing the single player story, because there is a single player story, and each mission is focused on a specific character. So you have Thor missions, Iron Man missions, Hulk missions, Camilla Khan missions, Black Widow, all of them. And throughout the game, you just select the mission you want to go on, and then you go from there. You don't really get to choose the character you want to play as completely through. You cycle through all of them. So that's kind of interesting. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to be really hard to tell each of their stories in a cohesive, coherent way when you're constantly switching through all of them. So that's my biggest worry, because the greatest thing with like the movie Avengers is like the movies take the time to focus on certain characters, even the team up movies. And the greatest thing with Marvel Spider-Man is it was just one character, and you cycled briefly between Mary Jane and Miles Morales.
Don't talk about the Mary Jane section. So I just got PTSD,
Oh,
and
yeah.
oh my god, they're so bad.
That was the only thing about that game I really hated.
Oh, they're so bad. It's the only thing that stops that from being a perfect video game.
Pretty much.
Literally the
That
only
and
thing.
the side missions of the game. And that's another thing about this one is I think I from what it looks like, all the multiplayer stuff are just side missions that are completely optional. Now they are tied to the story, so the stuff you do in them does progress the story a bit. but not as heavily as the single player stuff.
But you can play the story co-op. That's the thing.
Oh, well, I thought from what I heard in the war table was all the story missions, the main story missions were single player.
No, what I read,
hero?
I think that's the hero missions. From what I interpreted,
Okay.
you can actually play the entire story with a friend. You just can't be the same character, obviously.
Interesting. That actually makes a lot more sense. Sorry, I'm just closing out some windows.
What were you doing?
Closing out windows.
Oh, you're terrible because that made you real choppy. Good job.
Sorry, not bad. But no. What would you say your most anticipated part about this game is?
The story.
Yeah.
The story, and no spoilers. I don't know anything, but that inevitable moment when Captain America comes back, because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
They don't kill superheroes. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess it's just thought or accepted that Cap is basically dead for like almost half the game at least.
Probably.
Because apparently Thor is blamed with the death of Captain America.
Right. You saw that in that Always an Avenger hero mission preview they did today.
Yeah, which is a pretty dope mission.
Yeah, it looks sick. That's the thing. Like, the game doesn't look bad. I just don't think it's going to be fun, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it does look hella repetitive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think, like, you know, you get 2 hours and you're like, holy bleep, I'm an Avenger. But then after like 3 or 4 hours, you're like, all right, fly.
You do the same stuff all the time.
Fly portion, cool. Shoot stuff in the air, cool. Oh, I'm landing, cool. Repetitive combat, whatever. And you got to rinse and repeat that whole system.
Yeah, because that whole first mission that we saw for Thor, like his moveset just looked like he was doing the same stuff.
He was.
There's any mix-up or any surprises, really.
And the person who was playing him kept going for that weird, like, knock up and then the grab drag down.
Yeah.
And, like, you saw he was
just the person playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. But like I said, like, it would be the same stuff.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I know that each of them are. I think the way that they're going to counteract the repetitiveness is by making you cycle through each Avenger, because they all will play fairly differently.
Right.
Playing us, so I think that will help keep it fresh. But it was the same issue with Ultimate Alliance, and by far worse with Ultimate Alliance, because Ultimate Alliance was much, much older, and each of their movesets was like 3 moves.
Well, it's a dungeon crawler. That's the biggest difference. This is supposedly going to be, you know, a bigger game, a larger scale game compared to, you know, the dungeon crawler that is Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah. No, I didn't play the third one, so I don't know what they changed in the third one.
I didn't either. I don't have anybody to play with, so I didn't buy it.
That's fair.
I guess the last 2 things I got for you, or the last big story of the whole war table, is that it's going to be a PS5 launch title, basically.
That's kind of wild.
As soon as the PS5 launches, you will be able to play Marvel's The Avengers or Crystal Dynamics The Avengers.
No,
I don't know. Is it Marvel's The Avengers?
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics is just who's producing the game.
All right. Yeah, so that's cool. Day one, if you have the guap to get a PS5.
That's probably exactly why they ended up pushing it back, because they wanted to release the PS4 version closer to the PS5. My question is, will they jump on the bandwagon of giving PS4 users who get the game a free PS5 version? Probably not, but maybe.
Like a PS5 version of the game?
Yeah.
No, they are. They announced that. If you buy it for the PS4, you got it for the PS5.
Yeah. Oh, shit, nice. Yeah. A lot of developers are doing that, especially for like games that are coming out close to launch.
Well, that's the thing. At this point, it's kind of becoming the status quo. If you are going to release a game but not give it to somebody who paid for the game on the former console generation for the new one, you're a scumbag. And welcome to the Twitter age. They will fucking come for you. There's my one.
Yeah.
They will come for you.
I think make the game like backwards compatible on launch, because a lot of games aren't. A lot of the older games are. I think all the new ones are, so that's cool. But
right. But it sounds like the biggest thing right now is the SSD for no load times, and I don't think making things backwards compatible is going to scratch the itch for like buying the game and playing it on, or buying an old version of the game and playing it on a new console. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Right. So I guess to close our show out today, They announced that next month they'll be announcing a new character. Who do you think is going to be?
It's not going to be Spider-Man. I know that for sure. Because
Are you sure?
They already have Marvel's Spider-Man. Why would they release Spider-Man?
You never know, man.
I think it's going to. I could see Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's a safe guess, and
Falcon.
You think Falcon? I didn't even think about Falcon. I think Ant-Man's a safe guess, but Ant-Man's apparently who's in charge of the hub world.
Well,
So
Pym,
I guess it could be Scott.
Scott Lang, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it could be Scott.
If they're gonna go the way of them, trying to stay.
Damn, that's not bad.
Right?
Damn, that's not bad.
I don't think it's gonna be like a random character, or there's a couple it could be. Like there's a couple really good.
I only asked for one. Only asked for one.
Then yeah, I'm going with Ant-Man.
You're going with Ant-Man? I'm gonna go with Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Ooh,
so when you see the trailer, Kamala has a poster of Captain Marvel in her room.
True.
So I would assume they want to put yeah.
She's super inspired by Captain Marvel.
Exactly.
She even has her original emblem, which is hot.
Yeah, that's why she's Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, guys, who do you guys think is coming next? Are you excited for the game? Are you worried about the game? Leave any thoughts, comments, concerns at the bottom of the page. Please make sure to follow us on all of the platforms listed below: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, OnlyFans, wherever else you'll find us. Thank you again for watching.
You can find KJ News on OnlyFans.
Sada. Thank you again, guys. I'm KJ. This is Pat. Stay excellent, and please remember, Black Lives Matter.